Dear organizers, dear representatives of civil society, dear representatives of banks, fellow ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to take part in today's event and to talk about such a highly important topic, which is inclusive green finance. I'd like to congratulate the Alliance of Financial Inclusion for coming to Luxembourg and opening their office. We are very happy to have you here in Luxembourg and with your experience and knowledge. The government of Luxembourg has put sustainability at the highest level of political agenda, and we are committed to integrate in a balanced manner the three dimensions of sustainable development, namely environmental, social and economical development in our daily business, and we are confident that this is the way for reaching sustainability and climate neutrality. The inclusiveness is the key element of sustainable development, and we need to make sure that no one is left behind, with a particular focus on the most vulnerable people. This is also a key element of the Paris Agreement. On the one side, we need to make sure that the finance flows are consistent with the 1.5 degrees track. But on the other hand, we have to help the most vulnerable, both financially and through capacity building. And this brings us to the importance of FinTech and innovation. We need new tools and technologies for data collection, for measuring the threats of climate urgency and its consequences on the people, but also on our economy and especially on the banking and insurance sector. FinTech can help us to better understand the risks and how to take these risks into account in decision-making processes. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to put more efforts to help the most vulnerable in the world to overcome the environmental and social challenges that they are facing every day. And this brings me to another commitment of the Paris Agreement, which is the transfer of technology. Since 2015, and in the spirit of the Paris Agreement, the government has decided to establish a sustainable finance environment and to switch progressively from brown to green investments. Since then, several innovative initiatives and projects have been put in place. The Luxembourg EIB Climate Finance Platform, a de-risking mechanism for private investments. The International Climate Finance Accelerator, a public-private partnership set up to support finance fund managers in Luxembourg. The Forestry and Climate Change Fund, a pioneering impact fund aiming at sustainable forestry with secondary and degraded tropical forests. A sustainable finance master degree with University of Luxembourg. The LSFI, a multi-stakeholder coordinating entity of sustainable finance, has been created, and we have published in the 31st of August a first sustainable green bond framework. These are all examples of sustainable finance in Luxembourg in the recent years. The COVID-19 pandemic has to put focus on cities since the virus can spread rapidly in high-density populations, and cities are the game changers if it comes to climate resilience and living quality. Most of people will live in cities. Our most recent initiative was launched in 23rd of September. It is the Cities Climate Finance Gap Fund, together with Germany, the European Investment Bank and the World Bank. The GAP Fund helps cities in developing and emerging countries realize their climate ambition, turning resilient and being carbon neutral. This will guarantee not only resilience for population but also living quality. International climate finance is highly important for Luxembourg, and we can be proud to be very active given the size of our country. We are also the first per capita contributor to the Green Climate Fund. In addition to solidarity towards other countries, we also have to deliver at home and provide our share to the combat of climate crisis. Luxembourg very much welcomes, therefore, the proposal of the European Commission to scale up climate ambition. I'm confident that we will find an agreement on climate ambition during the next weeks and that European Union will be able to sustainably increase the level of ambition of its NDC, so the national determined contribution, before the end of this year. That's what we promised in Paris. Luxembourg did not wait for this joint European effort. Earlier this year, we adopted the so-called Integrated Energy and Climate Plan. And the government raised the ambition from a 40% reduction target to a 55% reduction target. This higher target goes hand in hand with the post-COVID recovery. And it is a huge opportunity. I would call it a single window of opportunity to now create a new economy based on sustainable consumption and production patterns, on climate resilient investments. I would like to stress that it is absolutely no alternative to this increased ambition level if we want to reach climate neutrality at the latest in 2050. And this is our common objective. Civil society, the private sector experts need courageous political decisions and actions. Governments need to create the right framework, a predictable framework, steering all of us towards a fair and climate resilient future. I'm happy to see you all here and wish you a good event.